I want you right now to pretend that we are in a BMW convertible, Marika's beautiful blue one with the drop-down top, the white seats. And we're riding down the Pacific Highway. I want you to feel that warm breeze on your face. I want you to hear the sound of the wind whistling past the car. And I want you, over the sound of all of that, to listen and hear the sound of the waves crashing below you on the mountain. And as you're driving along, you take this bend, and there in front of you is this sight that is unbelievable. Majestic foam on the ocean, the mountains all around you, and you're cradled in God's mercy. And you are so moved that you stop the car, and you open it, and you step out right by the guardrail, and you stand there and you witness this. You're there for a few minutes, and you're just in absolute awe. And as you turn to walk away to get to your car, something catches your eye. You look and you really can't see it. You move away, and there it is again. Down there in the brush, you see this glint of light. And you look at it, and there it is again. It just flashes and it goes away. And you want to leave, but your curiosity is getting the better of you. And you're looking at that and you figure, okay, I've got to see what this is. So you put your foot over the guardrail and you carefully work your way down the mountain. And you're hearing the sound of the wind, and you can still hear the waves over there. And you hear the cars passing in the distance, but you walk closer and closer to where that light is. And all of a sudden, you see a glint, and it's behind a bush, and you move it, and there's a cave there. And there, way in the back, you can see something glistening. And you're looking and you're thinking, I want to see what this is, but you're starting to get scared because you're down the hill, and God, what if something happens, and the cave is dark, and your heart begins to pound, and you feel it. But you're driven by the curiosity, I've got to see what that is. So you push the brush aside, and you stick your head inside, and it's dark, and it's damp, but you see that light. So you take a stone and you throw it, and you hear it go, so the ground is solid. And you let go of the shrub, and the light goes. And you want to get there, but you're afraid of what might be, so you lean against the wall, and you push forward, and you throw the stone, and you can still hear it go, and you push a little forward, and your heart is beating because it's getting darker and darker. And you can't breathe because you're in this cave. And you keep going in, and you want to make sure there's no, so you yell, hello, and you hear, hello, hello. You're with me so far?
Yeah.
But you see the glint, and you keep moving, and you throw the stone, hello, and you turn the bend, and amazingly enough, in front of you is this mountain of gold and diamonds and jewels. And you look at it, and you approach it, and you pick up a gold coin, and you scratch it to make sure it's real, and you bite it to make sure it's real. And you look at the diamonds, and you scratch the gold, and the diamond's that big. And now your heart's really pounding, you're going, oh my God, how did nobody find this? What do I do? Okay, my car's up the hill. So you fill your pockets, and you run up the hill, and you put in the car. And you make another trip, and you fill your pockets, and you fill them in, and you go back to the car. And you realize that this is going to take forever. So you take your shirt off, and you fill that up, and you just plug it up the hill. That's not big enough. So you take your pants off, and you tie the ends, and you fill the diamonds and the jewels, and you're lugging it back and forth and back and forth. But with each trip you take back, that diamond mine doesn't get any smaller, it starts to get bigger. And now you're getting kind of frantic because something's wrong here. So you take your pants off again, and you fill it when you go up to the car, and you fill it, and the front seat's full. And you keep going back and forth, the back seat's full. You open up the trunk, you put it in there, the car's like this, you go, uh-oh, gotta empty it out. So you run home, and you empty it out, and you put it inside your living room. And then when you're done, you go back to the mountain, you go down there, throw the coin in, and ooh, it's still there. And then you go back in, the mountain of gold is even bigger. So now you're really frantic. You're running back and forth and back and forth. The springs in the car going, God have mercy, as you're driving around. And you're driving back to your house. Are you driving like this? No, you're going boom! Because you've got no time. And you've made dozens of trips. Your living room is full. The upstairs is full. It's in the rafters. And you go back and you go, it's almost out the door. They're going to say this. What do I do? I need help. So you go to your brother-in-law's house. And you drive there because he's got to help you with the dynamite. So how do you drive to his house? No, you're going to make me go in his driving go, Bill, would you mind helping me? No! You go, shut up! Get in the car! I go, shut up! Get in the car! And you do the car! And you drive to the driving gun. And he gets there, and he sees the cliff. He climbs down, pushes it aside, throws the coin. Hello! And he pushes in, and you're going, and he sees the coins. And he scratches them, and he bites them. And he goes, holy cow, takes his shirt off, goes to the car. And you're watching him. And then he takes his pencil. What are you doing to help me with this? And you're taking your pencil back and forth. And then the car's full. And you drive to his house. And he's filling his house up. And you drive back. And he says to you, Izzy, what are we going to do? How do we handle this? I'll get you involved. What do I have to do? Go to the website. It to that extent, you can't do this. Because no matter how you pick at this mind, you can't exhaust it. He's going to find his brother-in-law. He's going to do the same thing. I did that 3 times in a row in the convention. I nearly passed out. That story was shared to me when I was 21 years old in Shackleton. I was making about $3,000 a month, which back then wasn't bad money. I heard that story. I took all our Shaklee products, put it in boxes, and put it on the curb for the garbage men to take. Now, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, $6,000 was some serious change. But I found that gold mine, and I recruited like my life depended on it. First month's check was about 60 grand 30 years ago. See, you can approach this very cavalier, just walking around talking to people, wanting to get an opportunity, or you can be like a mad guy going, shut up! Get in the car! What? TV! Get in the car! You're going to Bill O'Meyer's house. Who's that? You find out! Get in the car! That is the level of passion you need for this. Without it, it ain't going to happen. Make sense?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you guys for letting me